The easiest way to make $1 billion is to be 100 millionaire. When you're a big company, you benefit from your bigness. Rotor Estate Brute from the Anderson Valley. Like a nun's.
Cheers, and thanks for coming on the show.
Cheers. There is a cumulative advantage to your size in many, many ways. There's a law called the double jeopardy law. I'm not going to get into it now, but really it should be called the tyranny of market share, because large brands benefit in so many ways from being large. They're on more shelves. They have more facings in the store. They can support more advertising in random places. They can sponsor more little league clubs all around the city or the country.
More partners want to associate with them just because they're big, and you've got that sort of added benefit of leverage.
Right. So there are all of these things that are just cumulative advantage of being big that then allow you to do some things that a small brand can't, because you've got the flywheel going and you hopefully have enough margin to be able to invest in other new things. So one of the big things that an old brand has to do is refresh and reinvigorate and come up with novelty and new things that make sure it doesn't feel stale. And that's on multiple fronts, right? Because you're doing that from a product perspective, you're doing that from a comms perspective, but you have to do it, you have to tweak your packaging a little bit. But that also matters even for getting talent. So that's where big brands need to start making sure that they're reinvesting.
Completely agree. Like in summary, it pays to work for a big brand if you're a marketer because everything's easier. But it's more of a defensive play, I find, than offensive. Like you're maintaining your market share and growth and sort of getting incremental, small percentage points of growth is a large amount of money. But it's a different game, I find. And I find, that's where refreshes and little tweaks and stuff can be a really valid use of your time. I think where the danger is, and I see this a lot, a smaller brand will get some CMO from a big brand, a much larger brand, and go, oh, well, they're awesome over there. And they bring them into a smaller brand, and that person's now more exposed. Then maybe they don't have all those other distribution and product effects and time and size. So then I find that fails really badly, because then that person is using a big brand playbook for a smaller brand and focusing on the wrong things. And that's where I find it goes south.
Indeed.
This happens to a lot of startups. They'll, let's do a brand campaign. I'm like, okay, guys, you've only got like 1,000 customers. Like, you should be doing brand ad campaigns. Like, get more customers. Like, that's all you should be doing. Do anything to get more customers. Maybe that is a brand campaign, but it's probably highly unlikely that you need to be increasing distribution and maybe supporting that with some like larger sort of drawing your net out a bit bigger. But no, that's a terrible idea. And don't rebrand and refresh. Like, you've only been going for 2 years. Like, why are you refreshing for the fourth time? So I find I think this playbook from big brand gets misinterpreted in the smaller brand context.
100%. For instance, one of the most important things maybe as a small brand is sampling. People have to experience your brand. First and foremost, Red Bull. Red Bull grew from zero to hero, one of the world's largest brands, very much on the back of sampling the crap out of that product. They had Red Bull Mini Coopers everywhere. They had girls with Red Bull backpacks, Red Bull minivans, Red Bull motors.
They still do it to this day.
They still do it, as if we don't know. But you know what? There are always new people to acquire as customers. So sampling, you're right. Maybe sampling matters so much more than some kind of brand campaign that a big CMO, a big brand CMO would want to introduce.
You're talking about CAC, another big acronym that SaaS like to use, the software is PLG, which is product-led growth. And I'm like, PLG is just sampling, really. Okay, it's inaccurate. It's just a term that I created. But I'm like, really what you're talking about here as a free tier is product sampling, like for a service. Like that's what it is.
It's true.
You need a new term for it.
They need new words for the same old stuff. Yeah, it is. It's a rebrand of sampling. But it is why I feel like I've really found success with the loss and levers approach.